I'm a fan of the star we are.
What's up, everybody? I'm Super Cowboy.
And I'm Princess Angie, and you are tuned in to The Star We Are.
Hi, this is Jane Slater, and you are listening to The Star We Are.
Plugged in and switched on. This is The Star We Are, live.
Yes, y'all.
Hey,
Sam, you're muted.
I don't know why.
That's the way to start this show.
Come on now.
Dang it, guys. That was supposed to be your turn to be muted again. It was you, Jimmy, for a long time, and you passed the torch to me, I guess.
I did. You're welcome.
Anyways, well, I was trying to say that intro just gets me every time. I have heard it about 100 times, and it never gets old. But let's snap back to reality. Happy Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. I don't know about you guys, but it's a hot, crazy week here, so I'm ready to get this show started. Yes.
Yeah, it's been hot. Yep.
And if you are new here, we would love to welcome. Yes, we are The Star We Are. I'm Slammin' Sammy.
I am Landry's Legend.
I am your man, Jimmy Chase here. This is The Star We Are, like Sam said. This is where you come to fan responsibly, guys, all right? Like our man Tuck said today, he quote tweeted out, he said, I really like this hashtag. It's a movement. It's a vibe. It's a fan vibe. And this is where you come to get that fan vibe. So without further ado, let's run the game plan. Let's get this thing kicked off. We got a good show for you guys today. We're going to kick it off, and we're going to get some news, of course. We've got to get our updates with Sammy Says It Off. We're a little off on the charts there. There we go. We'll get lined up.
Yeah,
we got some.
Yeah, we had to get it to restart that. Go ahead.
You're good. No, we'll kick it off, and then we'll have some Sammy Says It All, of course, where we'll get our news. She's going to update us on the important things of the week that we need to know. It's where I get my news. And then like last week when we had the depth chart series and talked about the running backs, this week we'll dive into the linebackers, and we'll kind of pick who our starters are out of these guys that are healthy and ready to go. And then, of course, we're all off to Oxnard. For good? I don't know. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the contract there, Jerry taking the team there. Are they coming back to Frisco? All those things. And then we'll take a little break, have a halftime where we'll remind you to fan responsibly again, remind you to go ahead like we'll do now and hit that like and subscribe button. And then we'll move on to a cool story about the Lombardi legacy, right? Where does the trophy come from? Why is it the hardest trophy to win? Why did it get this guy's name? The legacy of the Lombardi trophy. Jimmy's going to run you through that right before we let you know about some summer entertainment that you can indulge in while there is no football, right? And no football, no problem. We got some entertainment for you. And then the Star We Are updates, of course, we'll let you know what we've got going on our forefront right before our man Landry today gives you the 2-minute spiel and runs down the show, and we'll cap things off and close it out. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited to get into it, so we won't keep your time any further, because if you've ever given us your time, we can't thank you enough. Your time is invaluable. So hitting that like and subscribe is the freest thing you can do for us and the most valuable thing you can do for us. So do that real quick as Samantha gets ready to give the spiel with Sammy Says It All. Let's roll.
Yay, I like how you said gets ready, because I cannot sit still, I guess. I don't know what is going on today. So let's get started. I kind of have a little bit of news all over the place. I was writing as I was reading, so we'll see how it goes. First things first, I was so excited to talk about this. Justin Nasty Tucker was suspended for 10 weeks for being a sicko. Wait, I mean violating the NFL personal conduct policy. Darn. He is still a free agent as far as I'm aware. He's not signed anywhere, so who knows how that's going to change everything when he's finally able to play again. I'm going to try to move here and stay out of Cowboys news first. So another thing, so I just seen this right before we went live, and I had to write it down real quick. I know, Eagles, Schmeagles, blah, 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 but Jalen Hurts just did something pretty cool. He just posted on his Instagram maybe 5 minutes ago that he released a children's book, and it's actually called Better Than a Touchdown. That's pretty cool to think about the kids, make children's book, keep it related to the sport you love. Yeah, I had to give big props to that as soon as I found that out. Back to some Dallas Cowboys news. I was going to talk about the preseason and training camp. Well, we got a whole segment for that, so I'm just going to scoot right along here. Right now, it is called the Dak Pack Summit is going on, and I've seen kind of a list of names going on, and it's kind of nice. Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks, Ryan Flournoy, Hunter Lipke, Luke Schoonmaker, Cavante Turpin, Jake Fergie, and Pickens are all there to show, and CD. Sorry, I forgot to write CD down. But man, already working together when they just had vacation, like they're gaming together, they're playing together, but they're also still working. And yay, I love that. Speaking of kind of off-season activities, Scotty's really wanting us to wanting them, sorry, I'm not a football player, wanting them to kind of bond as a band of brothers. So he says to go support each other in, other activities they do. So Dak Prescott and Joey Milton went to go support Will Greer last week at the Golf Classic. I did not see how Will Greer did. I do apologize on my Slack that part, but I still thought that was pretty cool that they went out there and just hung out with him to support him. It can't get much better than that. I was always kind of fine. Good, happy news, and we've been doing so good. But then I read something, and I was like, excuse me. Colin Cowherd. Colin Cowherd. Oh my God.
I see what you did there.
I did not mean to do that, to be honest.
Okay.
But he predicted, saying that Jerry made a mistake signing Brian Schottenheimer. He's pretty much saying that his dad's purse is going to follow him when it comes to playoff, and that by Thanksgiving, Jerry is going to want to get rid of Brian Schottenheimer. I don't see that happening. I feel like there is so much being built behind the scenes that it's all going to go smoothly, but we'll see. One of our rookie players has been named as a 2025 breakout candidate. I know you guys have heard his name on this show before. We've talked about him highly already. So with the nickname Easy, wink, wink, cough, cough, hint, hint, I hope that'll be an easy thing for him to accomplish. They were talking about three of the same position drafted. No. 3 years, same draft pick, second round, I believe. I'm getting my words twisted up. Anyways, we've signed enough of them that they're hoping that even at the opposite end of Micah, that he can pick up and whatever. Gonna get breakout candidate of the year.
That'd be nice.
Absolutely.
Yes, and sorry I kept getting twisted up. I know what I read, but my words are not coming out. Last thing before I switch sports real quick. Supposedly, now I don't know how true this is, but it's an article, it's a headline, it has curious minds to it, and other people are thinking the same thing. Brevin Spafford might take Schoonmaker's place. Rumor has it that we have our offense built up so much with receivers and a better running back room and everything that, we need 3 tight ends. I don't know how much I would trust it with Jake Ferguson just coming back after having that knee injury last year and that mean concussion. We can't just have one other one, which Brevin Spafford, so we need him. Real quick, 2-second thing. Dallas Mavericks got lucky, put some hype back in their fan base, which really needed it after the Luka loss. Drafting Cooper Flag, and it has the fan base up. They seem a little more excited for the season. Still saying fire Nico, so whatever. And last thing, I said OKC was going to win, but they weren't supposed to win like that. Tyrese Halliburton ripped his Achilles right at the beginning. So sorry, man. But I do have to congrats OKC on their win in the NBA Finals. And that's my news.
Love it. Good stuff.
Really tough. Really tough on Halliburton.
Yeah, that is tough. I'm glad you mentioned it and showed some love there. Because like you said, congrats to OKC, but like you said, that you didn't want OKC to win like that with their best player. You never want injuries to happen, right? But the best player on another team go down. Trust me, OKC, as proud as they are of that win, they also wished Halliburton was on the court at the end of the game when they won it. So
props to that player. I think his name is Shea or something. I don't really follow basketball, but he stayed there to make sure that Halliburton was okay on the floor, I believe. Yeah. And then I seen pictures of him going back in the room after the game to make sure that Halliburton was okay. Like, that is sportsmanship at its finest.
At its finest. You got it. Absolutely. Good deal. Well, that is your news, ladies and gentlemen. Sammy killed it once again. I believe we've got the next topic lined up. So like I told you guys last week, we talked about the running backs, right? And then we kind of gave you our top 3 and who we think fills out the room the best and who might not make the squad. And we kind of picked around with it. So we're going to do that with the linebackers this week. And so with a weekly series we're going to go depth chart series linebacker, right? It's a weekly series. Tune in again next week for the next position in our depth chart. And so what we're going to do here, and you do it with us in the chat, guys, and we'll check chat here in just a few minutes and make sure if you guys are commenting, we'll get you shouted out and stuff. We'll get those pulled up. But what we're going to do is, and you do it with us in the chat, is just give us your number 1, 2, and 3 linebacker. Now we're going to exclude DeMarvion Overshown just because he's hurt. Nobody can expect him back week 1. Also, I think it's obvious he's going to make our starting linebacker squad, right? Like we all know Demo is that guy. So, but he is hurt. He won't be back week 1. And so what we'll do is we'll take the time, we'll leave him off the list, and we'll just pick from about the other 5 or 6 big names. And you just tell us who's your top 3 linebackers, who's ready to start week 1, and we're going to give you ours. And so I believe Landry's got his lined up here. And so I believe he's going to go first with his linebacker group.
Right. I am going to go first. I'm going to get myself settled here. I didn't think I was going to, but I'm going to because I got a lot of work over here trying to present these all to you really cool. Okay, linebacker 1 with DeMarvion Overshown out of the picture.
Right.
I had to do Kenneth Murray based off of basically, honestly, Jimmy's got me convinced that nobody plays starting linebacker for Mike Vrabel linebacker from
Sorry
Mike
to pass
Vrabel.
my bad talking.
I know
to
that
you.
was a tough one. For what is it? The last 2-3 seasons, all the snaps, led the NFL in snaps at linebacker last year, I believe. So it's that veteran. I've taken this many snaps. He's wearing the green dot already in minicamp. I hear about. So I just have to go with that based off. I think it's. I feel like it's pretty set. 2, I have to. Let me see here. Yeah, I've got Maurice Leofau, who showed a serious nose for the ball. My favorite thing is a serious nose for the ball. In the last 8 games of last year, it really seemed like he had this, gets his hands in there, and I think he caused maybe 4 fumbles in just the last handful of games. It's probably the 3rd one where we're going to run into some of the most debate. And let's see if I've got Damone Clark right. I just had to make sure I've got Damone Clark there at the 3rd one. I need him to. He's just been an up and down player. He's shown flashes of to be one of the more athletic linebackers that we have. He's one who probably has to play the best in replacement of Demo. So.
No, that makes sense. That's not bad. And yeah, I can agree with you on Kenneth Murray. Now, why mine might not line up. And before we let Sam go ahead and give hers next, I'll save mine for last. But I'll go ahead and read the chat. So we got Cowboys Fan 92 stopping by saying, "What's up, people?" We got Jackson in the building. Jackson says, "Good afternoon. What's up, y'all?" Micah stopping by saying, "Howdy, howdy, howdy." As always, Mike, appreciate you being here. Some Cowboys fans says, "Samantha, you look great today. Glowing. Maybe it's the lighting." Kyle Robinson says, "What's up?" Eric says, "Hey, what happened last week?" I don't know, buddy. We had a show, so go
Where
watch.
were you?
What happened last week, Eric? No. And then we got Fever versus Wings tomorrow going on downtown. Cowboys fan says, "Cool deal."
Oh, I'm jealous.
And then Kyle says, "Is it possible to get rid of Jerry?" I'm dead serious. Well, I don't know, Kyle. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. And then
and he knows
so
that. He knows the answer to that is Jerry has to get rid of himself. That's the only way that's happening.
And I don't think he's going to do that. But thank you guys for your comments. Thank you for joining. Feel free to watch the rest of the show. It's going to be good. We got some meaty topics coming up. But while you're here, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Make sure you've done both. Turn on the notifications so that way you're always with us. Samantha, your linebacker room. You got one? You know who your starters are?
Okay, so I'm going to be honest. I was shocked, and I am pretty proud of myself for this.
Okay.
My order is the exact same as Landry's. First,
oh boy,
Kenneth Murray Jr.
Can't be mad at it.
So I didn't have the time. As you guys know, my brother's coming into town tomorrow, actually from Arlington. So I've been kind of kicking butt all day getting ready. But Kenneth Murray, I mean, I'm going to kind of go based off of what Landry said. I mean, I was trying to look it up here because I just closed the tab I needed. Let me see if I can reopen it real quick. Okay. So I had Murray first. One of the things gosh, you guys, I'm having a total crash out here, not intentionally. Number 1, experience. We have a young room. We need somebody veteran to to, I don't know, spread their experience. He has the leadership. He has the skill. He has the leadership to go with it. And then when I was looking up this, now I don't know how impressive this is, but I was kind of impressed myself. 2024, he led the Titans 95 tackles and has a career total of 416 tackles, 8.5 sacks, and 3 interceptions over 73 games. So math was not my best subject. So if this is wrong, you guys are free to make fun of me. I took 416 divided by 73. First, 416 tackles divided by 73 games. That's 5.7 per game, which that's pretty all right. I think maybe that's okay. And then
Well,
sounds worse
I'm definitely
when I
not
say it out
Rain Man,
loud.
so I can't check you on the math.
Oh no, hold on a minute. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can't. Yeah.
Okay, I did not hear what you just said. I lost all audio. My headphones came unplugged.
So Bugsy's got a little opinion on Kenneth Murray here. I believe he's talking about Kenneth Murray. He says, as an OU fan, he is good, but if a player gets past him, say goodbye.
Oh, cry.
So
Okay.
it's just maybe.
Well, that's why we have linebacker number 2, Leofau. I have him as my number 2. He is young. He is hungry. And the beginning of the season, I feel like people hyped him up more than he was at the beginning, but by the end of the year, all that hype was well deserved. He caught on quickly.
Sure.
He's adapted. He knows what he's doing out there now. And I think, you know, we talk about Easy having a breakout year, and he might not be a breakout candidate, but I think that this is going to be a really good year for Leofau. And I hate to say it, but especially with Demo down, giving him more opportunities to be out there. The last one I have, number 3, is Damone Clark. I was kind of debating on putting him at 2, but I was like, man, I don't know. I just don't have it in me to put him at number 2. I was
probably just like you said with Kenneth, a little more experience. Leofau's second year. Clark's been with us for a few, so
you've seen a little more from Damone and what Leofau flashed at the end of the year. You said it,
right.
Right. And so for Damone Clark, I have that, you know, why I have him as 3, because Johnson, I don't know anything about him, but Damone Clark is comfortable with us. And one of the things that I think is going to put a little fire under his butt is that he is literally fighting for his place.
Sure.
So I think that this year, because he had a significant amount of less snaps last time and got that less play time. So now is his time, and I think he's going to take advantage of it.
That's fair. No, you guys are on it. Edgar Hewitt in chat says Murray is a dog, so he's right there with you guys. He believes Kenneth belongs at the top. While my gut tells me that's probably the case, here's what I need to happen, y'all. If you haven't seen the video of the Matt Eberflus, sorry, a little wordplay there. Somebody needs to catch it. A couple people need to catch it. But the one who needs to catch it the most and have an outstanding career year, I don't need it to be Kenneth Murray, because he's had years where he's had 100 tackles, right? He's like Landry said, he's a Vrabel guy. If Mike Vrabel trusts you to be his middle linebacker for years in a row, you got something, okay? I'm not gonna discount Mike Vrabel as a coach and what he chooses to do on the football field, especially on the defensive side of it. So, but who I need to catch the Eberflus is Maurice Leofau, and that's going to be my linebacker number 1. Now, obviously, I think Demo might be here, but like we said, we're going to leave Demo off the list. He's injured.
Oh, he is.
Leofau showed the flashes and has the speed that if he can catch the flu and have a career year this year, what'd you say, Landry? He had like 3 forced fumbles last year. If he can catch a career Eberflus year and end up with 110 tackles, 3 or 4, fumbles, couple sacks, 3 to 5 interceptions, like we've seen Eberflus do with linebackers, and just they turn into interception machines somehow. If that happens for Maurice Leofau, with the addition of Kenneth Murray, Jack Sanborn, and Demo getting healthy and stuff like that, then all of a sudden we might be one of the better linebacker corps in football. So I'm going to need Maurice Leofau to be our best linebacker this year. It's probably not going to happen. I'm not going to say that it is, but that's what I want. And then he could be followed by Kenneth Murray Jr., the veteran, who obviously has to step up in place of Demo. Eric Kendricks wasn't re-signed. We let him go. This move was to replace Eric Kendricks. That's who Kenneth Murray is. And so if you just lock him into Eric Kendricks' spot last year, guy's going to get playtime, right? Guy's going to get snaps. That's going to happen. And then third on the list, this might surprise you guys. But Jack Sanborn. I can't forget about him. I need him to come in. I do like Damone Clark. I like what he's given us. I appreciate his work. But this is an Eberflus guy who's following Eberflus from Chicago, had a couple interceptions last year. It would be nice if Eberflus can bring that back to Dallas, and all of a sudden Sanborn and Leofau look like borderline Pro Bowl linebackers, then you better watch out from this defense
Well,
because we're going to be nasty.
There's a certain type of linebacker that we,
Mhm.
probably just since I don't know how long has Leighton Van Der Esch been gone already? 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Edgar Hewitt says Lou
I
Fowle's
have
also
his
a dog. They both need to be on the field at the same time. No, I think we can agree there. Lou Fowle, Kenneth Murray, heading the core, obviously, with a little mix of Sanborn, Damone Clark, and some other guys thrown in. So, and then don't forget Shamar James, obviously, 5th-round pick. We moved up to get him, rookie. We'll see what happens, how much playing time he gets. So it's going to be interesting how this linebacker room shapes out.
We were actually going to make that part of the segment, but to round out, that's kind of your top 3 depth chart. More people than that are going to see the field, obviously. I've got Shamar James and Sanborn rounding out those other snaps. Well,
sure.
See, I had Sanborn with my number 2 for Leo Fowle. I couldn't remember who it was. I don't know if that's a good thing, but that's who I had at first, and I couldn't remember.
And that should be a good battle with those guys there. Kyle says, Samantha, nobody in here is Rain Man. Nobody can do that kind of math.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
And Edgar Hewitt, I'm sorry, Edgar, says Kendricks, wasn't that great last year. That's why we let him go. He moved on from him. I mean, he was consistent, right? He was a good tackler.
I thought
If
he
he
was
got his hands
okay,
on you,
but-
got him. PFF had him ranked pretty good. But I think we believe that we've upgraded there. And so hopefully Edgar's right. And we have upgraded and our linebackers are going to be better than Kendricks. So
that kind of makes me feel silly because I loved Eric Kendricks last year. Like, I was kind of sad we didn't resign him, but I also expected him to go when what's his name left anyway. So
right, he followed oh my goodness, why was Zimmerman?
That's who it was.
He followed Mike Zimmer over here, and so he left when Zimmer left. And I don't think either one of them are working right now.
I don't think so either.
In the NFL, so they may have both retired from Dallas last year. We'll find out.
All right, so we're jumping the gun just a little bit. It's still 28, 7 days. We got a calendar we're going to look at to see specifically here in a minute.
We do.
But we're under a month before we get to Oxnard. Yeah, under a month before we get to Oxnard. And
are you guys praying?
I'm just let's take a look at this schedule first, and we'll look at it that way.
Okay.
There you are. The 22nd is the first practice. So it's a matter of some.
Okay. This is July, correct?
Mm-hmm.
July 22nd. Yep.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's running you all the way through the third preseason game there, the 22nd of August, which from all our
Falcons.
Which with all our guesstimation, training camp open practices in Frisco are happening somewhere in that week before that preseason game number 3 versus the Falcons.
Right.
See, but it says open practice is Tuesday and Wednesday, the 12th and the 13th. But is that still in Oxnard? Because
still in Oxnard, right?
Yeah, that's
okay. Because
right.
they didn't release when they were coming back
Patrick
yet.
No-C Walker, Cowboys
love
legend.
that guy.
Yeah, I love that guy. Big media guy. Love follow him. He's a great follow on Twitter. Patrick No-C Walker posted, requoted one of our tweets. I had asked him, about the training camp in Frisco because he's usually pretty privy on the dates. He said no news yet, so we're not exactly sure, but Landry and I have kind of mapped it out over the last few years. We can kind of narrow the few days. We believe it's going to be that week that he was speaking of there. But definitely follow Patrick for any updates and camp stuff. He'll definitely give you the minute by minute and the day by day changes and things that goes on. He follows with the team. He goes with the schedule. So always good to keep up there. But the Oxnard, right? It's interesting. Jerry moved camp out there. What was it going on? Just after the first 2 Super Bowls. It was hot in Texas, of course, and so he decided in the summer months when we're training, we'll go out to Cali. We'll take the brand out there, which is why you see Chargers games and Rams games full of Cowboys fans. Anytime Cowboys go to play them, it's like a second home game for us, right? So Jerry's had that brand out there for years, but good news, guys. I don't know if they're going to extend it. I'm going to hope not, because this is the last year of that contract. And so with the new indoor facilities and stuff in Frisco, we're all hoping and praying as Cowboys fans, bring training camp back to Texas. Bring it back to Frisco.
So it's been rumored. I feel like it's been rumored. Maybe I'm the one who started the rumors. But essentially, since the Stars started, the construction and they broke ground on that, I really felt like that was the intention. You make an indoor facility. You don't have to go to LA.
When did it get built?
California. The Stars
over the last
been
couple years.
No, it's been open. Oh no, I mean it's been open now since, 2012 or something.
But a couple of the new indoor fields, they're within a few years old, right? Maybe I mean
Right.
I say a couple.
But
I mean
But like you
4 or
say,
5. But
they had a contract, so they couldn't come until now.
right.
I had it in my head. I thought that was going to be the case, but honestly, what I'm really read is that they'll be in Oxnard for the foreseeable future.
Right.
Is what I'm really gathering. I'm with you. I'm over here hoping, but
Hoping and praying. Everybody, expects Jerry to go ahead and extend that contract and re-sign it. It takes the guys away from the heat, and what it does most importantly, and Jerry's going to continue to do this. Listen, Jerry's more likely to move this thing to Canada before he does back to Texas, because growing this brand is
All he cares
is
about.
at the top of the list. I'm not saying winning championships aren't okay. I'm not going to say Jerry Jones doesn't want to win a title, but as far as winning a title and keeping the brand numero uno, they're going to be right there with each other on his list of importance. So, moving the brand back to Texas doesn't grow it any. So
Well, move
we're all
to Kansas because there's too many
there
Chiefs
you go.
fans here. Like, come on.
Yeah, go steal some of their fans. There you go. Just don't
Right.
move it out to Pittsburgh or something like that. It's a little too cold. They don't like us. Our players will be in danger. Definitely don't move it to Philly. Kansas isn't
Lord.
bad. We got Eric in the chat saying, "Let's go Texans." He's a Texans fan. Welcome in. Thank you for joining this Cowboys podcast.
Go,
Bugsy
TJ.
says we won't win a Super Bowl until camp is in Texas. Well, there you heard it, Jerry. You got to move it back now. We got Azteca Aguilar in chat saying, "Yeah, no joke. Jerry, the California-born kid, will keep the training camp in California." That sounds about right.
yeah,
Dang it.
Bugsy told us 2016 the star was built. His
There you go.
pockets win all
Thank
the
you, Bugsy.
same.
The
Super
year I
Bowl or
became a fan. I mean, well, a paying attention fan.
Yeah, paying attention.
This-
So we're gonna be off to Oxnard. Keep up with the days. Like I said, Patrick Nosey Walker is a great follow, a great way to keep up with some of that by the minute, by the day. We are about halfway through this show.
About
So
halfway.
that means, guys, it is time to fan responsibly. You got to get your daily reminder. Halftime, blow the whistle, and remember to like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, do all of those things right here at the bottom of your screen, and do them now. I'll wait. Thank you. Wait, I seen one of you didn't do it. Hurry up, hit that button. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, follow us for all your great fandom content. This is where and how you learn to fan responsibly. For the second half of the show lined up, we've got some great topics. We're going to get into the Lombardi legacy. We're going to give you some off-season entertainment. We're going to wrap it up with a 2-minute spiel. I'm excited about the second half of the show. Guys, are you with us? Are you ready? You guys still with us?
I'm always ready. I feel like I'm excited as always.
Because this is a cool one. This one means something. Everlasting impact. I like how Landry wrote it up there. Everlasting. It doesn't go away. This trophy, right? This Lombardi trophy. Before we start the media and I get going, it's a big deal. I'll go ahead and read these last few chats before we get into it. Kyle says Zimmer isn't with the team. Okay, yeah, he's still out of a job. I got at least see our team win 3. I got to at least see our team win 3 Super Bowls in the 90s, as Tekka says.
Yeah.
So I can feel the newer fans' frustration of Super Bowl appearances and rings. No doubt.
I honestly don't think I can imagine it because I saw those 3.
No,
that's
joke.
the reason I can't. I would try to sympathize, but man,
the only thing I have of the 90s is that Super Bowl ball up there from '92. Other than that,
it's getting depressing in here. Okay.
Anyway,
yeah, let's brighten it up with a magical story here. Landry, roll that beautiful footage. So, guys, the Lombardi Trophy, okay, the hardest trophy in all of American sports to win. It might be the hardest trophy in all of sports to win. Why the prestige? Why do these guys hold this thing? Why do these guys cherish this thing? Because it's tough. It means a lot. It's hard. It's the ultimate prize of success, victory, and being a champion. Named after Vince Lombardi, born June 11th, 1913, where he was an assistant coach at Army from 49 to 53 before he got his first NFL job with the New York Giants in 54. He would then go on to win his first title with a familiar name, defensive coordinator Tom Landry at the time, where they beat the Chicago Bears 47-7 in the title game. It wasn't even called the Super Bowl yet. Fast forward a couple years, he joins the Packers, who were at that time 1-10-1 and on the way out, like financially. They're fixing to lose their franchise. He takes control and demands such control that he sells the next season out before they ever won a single game. They go on to be in the championship game along with the Eagles, and along with all of these great quotes at the end of that game when they lose on the last drive says, I will never lose another championship game, along with some of these great quotes. And the man was right. The man kept his word, y'all. He went on to win 3-4 more titles before they ended up converging the lead to where he would win the first 2 Super Bowls of the NFL, which is why that trophy that he's holding right there will always be the Vince Lombardi trophy. RIP, my man. That's a legend. The trophy is legendary. Y'all better respect it.
I just
And
want
the
you to
Cowboys
know.
better go earn one.
I have a serious case of goosebumps right there. Once you said that, I mean, it was good. It was all good. But once you got to that part of where he won the first 2 Super Bowls, I was like, chill. Like, but you know what? I
the
picked
original
up something.
champion.
Right. And I picked up something from that. People call like Dion selling out games in Colorado. They call it the Dion effect, but it actually sounds like it's the Lombardi effect, and Dion stole it from him.
It's like I said, they were on financial, downfall. They went 110-1. The fans were about to give up on him. They showed up. The man earns the nickname the Pope, right? And they sell the stadium out before they ever won a game. It's like, who does that? Who does that? And then he, like he said, he kept his word, never lost another championship game, only had 1 playoff loss for the rest of his career. Went on to win multiple championships. And like I said, the first 2 Super Bowls ever in the new era in the league we know of as today. And so that's why that trophy belongs to that man's name.
Ends up getting the trophy named after you. What an interesting franchise, right? Not only all that history with Lombardi and the trophy being named after him, and one of the original, one of the OGs of coaching, but the entirety of how their organizational structure is, right, and the fan ownership. What an interesting franchise.
The father of football, right? And it's in Green Bay, almost the founding place of football. Not essentially, I don't think that's where football was invented, but I just mean if you think about even the first title won before it was called a Super Bowl, it was by Curly Lambeau, who Lambeau Field was named after. Then the first Super Bowl is won by Vince Lombardi, who the trophy is named after in Green Bay. And so Green Bay is just, and that's why up until this day, try to get you a season ticket in Lambeau Field. Sold out for years to come. For years to come. It's the most historic building. Like Lambeau Field is it. Yeah. It's pretty historic, pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, when I was young, coach, that's what I was talking about. No football, no problem. We got all kind of, we got mini biops on the Star We Are and everything you need.
Everything you need. Bugsy says we got a big a big hockey fan here. He says, well, it's not quite the Stanley Cup.
Oh boy, well, you're right. But...
That's funny. What's everyone's record predictions for the Cowboys this season? Azteca said. I'll go real quick. 11 wins.
I'm gonna go 12.
Oh, okay. I like it, Landry.
I think I've seen the schedule enough that I'm still at 12, but that's probably coming in about a month. 3 to 4 weeks from now is probably when that'll really get heavy on the show. Towards the end of training camp.
I was saying, can you ask me again later? Yeah.
I mean, like I said, in about a month we'll have a big game by game schedule breakdown. Sure. Maybe we can do a live when we're all all together at training camp or something like that. That might be the right time. Do one all in the same room there and do the schedule game by game.
That would be cool. That's an idea. There we go. Right, so be on the lookout for that to be involved in your updates. Now, we're going to help you guys out real quick because I know that right around now, especially until we get to training camp and there's even some Cowboys training camp videos to watch 3 or 4 weeks from now, I'm struggling. There's no football. For me, that's usually a problem. But Landry decided, you know what? No football, no problem. Why? Because there's some other things going on, even in the sports world. And we're going to help you out today and keep you informed on some of those and kind of talk about some of our favorites and what we can view and what we can do when there is no football. So that way it doesn't have to be a problem. Landry, you got that. What do we watch in July?
Yeah, when there is no football, and if you're not one of the most the hardcore of the baseball fans, because baseball is the one.
Baseball's there.
The one of the 4 major professional U.S. sports that is, you can watch baseball every day, all day.
It's there
because they play 182
it's a long
games
season.
They're trying to get better with the games and the time link. Listen, I love baseball. I think we've talked about it before. It's one of the best sports you can watch live. Go to the game.
It is fun
for me, and I think a few of us. A game 81, 82, and 83. In the dog days of summer, which is where baseball I think coined that term. Hard to do. So we'll take a look at some.
They even have and baseball admits it. They have a hard time filling stadiums in these months. Some of them still have open stadiums. It's hot.
I can already tell that Samantha has seen that Jake Paul is fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
I'm so
On
good. I just hit my hand.
on
2 days,
Saturday
right?
night. Yeah, Saturday night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy shoot.
And-
I'm
Now
so
that is
pumped.
going to be a fun one. See, that one will hold you over because that one's going to be some decent content, even if you think the fight is rigged or not. You know, like people say the Tyson one was. I don't know.
Whatever.
I'm not a part of those crews, so I wouldn't know
Oh, I
these things.
am in there
But-
like swimwear.
But it's going to be entertainment, regardless of whatever you think it is. It will be entertaining. I believe out of pride, Chavez is going to try to whoop Jake. I would hope so.
pray so bad, man. We need another Tommy Fury up in here. I want Jake Paul to fight
Well-
Tommy Fury again and get bodied this time.
Well,
Don't get me
that's-
started.
That's kind of the thing, Sam. This guy's Tommy Fury, but a better boxer. You know, with 40 something professional fights, who was an actual champion, albeit 10 years ago or so. It's not quite a 30-year retired Mike Tyson. It's more like a retired boxer coming out of retirement who can still box. You know, he obviously he's not the caliber of Floyd Mayweather, but Floyd Mayweather retired at 38 and came back and boxed at 40 and looked great and won. That's where Chavez Jr. is. He can fight, and he's got it's Jimmy said the history behind that family name. Talk about it.
And I don't know. Obviously, Chavez is the junior. He's the one that kind of grew up in our day and age, but he's still a little older than all of us. Obviously, he's in his 40s, right? Early 40s, I believe.
I think
so.
40, yeah, but right around 40. Yeah.
But I would believe that, like, I do this for my name, doesn't mean I'm taking a payday to go down. Like I said, because it's been speculated that Tyrone Woodley took a payday, Mike Tyson took a payday, yada yada yada. This guy, I don't think is taking one of those. You know what I mean? So regardless,
He's 39.
39. Right. Okay, so yeah, he's got a shot. Listen, he's got a chance. Bugsy got us at 8 or 9 wins. Azteca got us at 10 or 11 wins.
Yeah.
Bugsy says, enjoy the baseball season and helping us out here. He says AEW for you wrestling fans, All Elite Wrestling coming to Texas on July 12th.
There you
If
go.
you're into that, be on the lookout.
Where's that?
That's a fun one. Yeah, where's that going to be at? Bugsy, let us know. I'm assuming it's Arlington. It might be AT&T.
It could be more than one place. A lot of times they get into a region and they
Globe Life Field.
Globe Life. Okay, there you go.
So right across the street, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's from Texas Live.
That's the Rangers.
Well.
That's Ranger Stadium, Globe Life.
Yeah. It's still right across the street, Sam, because Texas Live is right across the street too.
Right, I remembered as soon as I was like, well, whatever. Yeah.
You're always
so that's a good one. So wrestling fans, be on the lookout for that. If you're in Texas, got some wrestling coming to town.
So Sam was excited about the Chavez Jr. She won't be as much the Gold Cup, but I have to throw it out there because I'm still promoting soccer. I think I got a Chelsea shirt on right now. I'm at Chelsea.
And promoting U.S. soccer is what Landry's getting at.
U.S. soccer. The World Cup is coming here next year, and I promise you, Sam, I'm telling you, by next summer when the World Cup is on, because you won't be able to miss the World Cup. You won't be able to walk by a TV where it's not on. And
we could go.
That's when you're getting converted. Think we could go? Well, tickets to the World Cup.
You're making me nervous already.
Are pretty serious. People are pretty serious about going. Yeah, could be
maybe
tough.
like a Texas Live thing. Do they do that at Texas Live?
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah, it'll be a crazy scene at Texas Live. No matter who's playing, whether there's a few teams that could play where Texas Live will light up.
Because that's the thing. It could be Honduras versus like Ghana, and AT&T is going to be sold out with Hondurans and Ghanans. It is. Now, don't let US have a game there. There won't be anywhere to park in the city. You know what I mean?
But
so don't even.
Point being, the U.S. is in the Gold Cup right now without most of the starting roster that we look for in the World Cup next year. But they need to make a nice showing. Win that. They have a game. Sunday, I believe. Sunday is Costa Rica in the quarterfinals, and after that, it'll probably be on to someone like Mexico in the semis, and hopefully a title there. So
the
also
CONCACAF Gold Cup. It's a step in being better and getting U.S. on par with
it's trophies, right? It's trophies is what they call
world class soccer.
So the Gold Cup, is this like Cristiano Ronaldo soccer, or is this a different league of soccer? Because
this
I
is
only
US's
know
league.
Cristiano
So it's
Ronaldo.
like US, Mexico, and Canada would be the 3 biggest teams in the CONCACAF region. And so it's kind of played by regions. And so it's teams like it's a few South American teams. Like I said, Canada, Mexico, US, obviously.
So all like
sort of.
And what you're getting at there, Sam, is there's 2 different types of soccer, right? There's people playing for their club, like they play for the Cowboys. Cristiano Ronaldo plays for Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia, but he also plays for his country. There's which is Portugal.
So he plays 2 leagues, or is it one team but representing both?
Right. So leagues are separated into leagues. Like Lionel Messi plays in the U.S. in the
Major
League Soccer, right?
He
plays
for
Major League Soccer right now. and he plays for the city of Miami. But
Oh,
he
okay.
plays for the country of Argentina when they have
So
international
he's a
games.
representative of
Yes.
that
Argentina.
country.
That is
Okay,
from-
okay,
what if-
okay.
So like our
gotcha.
star Christian Pulisic, like Landry is wearing right now, he
Right.
plays for Chelsea, which is an English team, but he's a U.S.
Like
soccer player.
UK? Okay,
Right.
okay, okay.
Right. Yeah.
It's just what it boils down to is there is no football version of this where there's countries that go against each other
Right.
because it's only dominated here. We have all the
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Next down there, you know what? I realize now I jumped the gun just a little bit. The Little League World Series down there actually doesn't start until, you know what? I had my piece of paper. It's actually the second week of August, maybe even the
Is it?
third week of August. So I was looking for July stuff here. It's a little bit till that comes on, but what an excellent thing you can see there. Both the Little League World Series and the Little
Oh,
League
yeah.
Softball World Series. Both of them, they run kind
Woo.
of concurrent with each
Right,
other.
and when that's great timing because, like you said, early August. If those training camp days and
last
those
few weeks to
preseason
get you through.
games aren't getting you enough, yeah, then some Little League World Series is so fun to watch, man. Like you say, you got these kids out there that look like they can't push a shopping basket,
Right.
and they're hitting home runs and throwing fastballs and
Well, they're
making
out there-
double plays, and it's insane.
They're out there literally living the whole dream. You know, you're talking to yourself. 2 outs, bottom of the ninth, you're playing with your friends, or except in this
God,
case,
wait.
Yeah,
right?
right.
You're pretending you're a major leaguer, except in this case, at this moment,
They
you
actually
are.
feel like it.
Well,
Yeah,
you
they're
are.
on the way
You're
to
on
it.
ESPN.
Yeah.
You are in the major leagues of the
You're
little
playing
leagues.
the World Series. Yeah,
as
no
far as I
doubt.
know.
Man, I hope
It's
there's
big.
no like Gronk Juniors in the league. Like I feel bad. I'm serious. Well, can you imagine like those parents get that dose of fame and want
Oh.
to push their kids? Like I'm excited for that, but that scares me too. Like nope, I don't know.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. No, if you haven't watched, if Sam, if you haven't, and anybody in chat, if you haven't watched any Little League World Series, catch a game or two because they do highlight the parents a lot because they're all in the stadium, obviously, right? They're all in the stands, and so they do highlight the parents. They highlight the players' background, their school, name things that they like he likes Nickelodeon at 4 a.m. You know, just little, and it's
Oh, I love that.
fun, right? It's passionate because you get to see the joy on. It's like when you watch your kid walk out. For anybody as kids, you watch your kid walk out of school, you see your kid smile, it just makes you happy. These kids, like Landry said, are living the ultimate dream and
I
competing
probably cried
at
the
a
whole
very
game.
high level, right? No, it'll
And
bring the
you'll end up
emotion out of
seeing,
everyone.
you won't know it at the time, but sometimes handfuls of major league players. Because honestly, if you've gotten this far and played and you're playing in this, a lot of these people, these kids go on to obviously play D2, D1 baseball and be major league stars and end up on ESPN as 12-year-olds. That's one of my favorite things
Okay,
too.
That's cool.
And
Yeah.
they end up on the top 10 and stuff as 12-year-olds when this is going on because
That's awesome. Yeah,
there's not a ton of sports going on. And
for a
what
couple
better-
weeks they
what
get
better?
to own ESPN. They do. It's
They
I
really do.
love that. That's
It's-
awesome.
So Azteca here is saying football is the beautiful game. It is.
It's a
It's
beautiful game.
Beautiful, beautiful game. Bugsy says he usually goes for Germany. Not sure why, but he's a Germany fan. That's cool.
Hey, I'm
Lewandowski's a
German. I
beast.
support that.
There you go. Football and foosball is the devil. Just in case
Oh,
anybody didn't know that. Is what
We got
Kyle
that in the
says.
chat?
Foosball is
That's
the
an
devil.
excellent call. I love it.
That's hilarious.
Hey, you know what? Perfect segue onto the
That's
premieres. Yeah,
Hilarious.
hilarious.
Foosball is the
Foosball's
devil.
That's an Adam
Also-
Sandler movie, and we also have a couple of.
It
Gold jacket,
is!
green
Oh,
jacket.
I
Who gives a
forgot that. I forgot
It's
the
coming.
Water Boy. I'm sickening. Anyway,
Well, and that's why I'm saying Kyle segued us to big premieres that we have. If you're looking for something non-sports, me and Coach are talking Happy Gilmore 2
Can't
for a week or so. Yeah, I feel like we've been
Oh,
quoting
I'm-
it. So very excited about Happy Gilmore 2. And what about you, Sam, on the Squid Game?
Are you a fan?
okay,
Eh.
so here's the deal.
Okay.
I am a person that first season fire, second season when the longer they go, the more I hate it, the more
Sure.
dramatic and fake they have to get for the views. I'm tired. It's old. Move on. Because I was kind of the same way about Fast and Furious. Man, we don't need freaking 10 Fast and Furious. They're
I hear you.
I
flying.
can
They're
agree with that.
superpowers. Like it's overrated because they've tried so hard to keep it going.
Sure.
Like
Well,
I
No,
feel like it's
it is one of those things. When you go ahead, Landry.
Oh, I think that this is it. This little season
Good.
3 here, and maybe season 2. It ended way more anticlimactically than season 1 did. So they may have lost your interest there.
Yeah, they left you on.
But
Like
again,
they
it
tried to
was a
leave you on a cliffhanger.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah, I
phenomenon,
don't
so I had
know.
to include it here to
Of course.
right.
But Sam's got a point. When they do so, when even with movies, when the first one is so good and it had such an impact, you
Right.
can't backdoor it. It's just so hard to
It's
like
hard.
keep people that interested. Same thing with the Walking Unalive series. If I do, can I say the Walking Dead series? Am I allowed to say series?
Ew.
Can I say that? Anyway,
I stopped after Negan. As soon as he came
Right.
in there with
You
that
see what I
spiky bat
mean?
and Got
They
rid of
lose
Glenn.
people.
Done.
You lose
Done.
people. It's hard to keep things going. And so Happy Gilmore, let's hope they don't fail too much. Let's hope this one isn't like Happy Gilmore, the first one is awesome. Gilmore 2, I hope they bring all the good joke back. I hope they bring the good characters back.
I don't know if
Yeah,
they'll
pretty
bring the
excited
good
about that
jokes
one because
back.
that's one I
I
heard
know.
that's when I heard rumored again 8 to 10 years ago, probably before it was actually a thing, and it was probably the rumors and the the buzz that it ends up making its way back to Sandler that he's like, all right, let's do it, let's make it. So I hope they put enough into it in a few.
Right.
I hope, but then again, like a lot of movies back then, like comedy back then was a lot more brutal than it is now. Like I don't know if I can say this on the show, but I'm
you're
going
right.
to. America can't handle comedy anymore. We're all too
That's
sensitive. Like it's comedy. People like the
No,
old.
you're right.
I miss the old.
Comedy
movies
is the
a
one
lot
thing
more
that shouldn't be censored. I agree with you. It's jokes and jokes.
I mean,
Now,
there's limits, yeah, but
sure. Well, you shouldn't use comedy to attack someone or to like intentionally try to harm them. But if you're saying a joke that's just kind of in general and it does harm a few people in the process, like they didn't really like it, well, that comedian didn't attack you individually. So I'll stand with you on this,
Right.
Samantha. Leave comedy alone because I like to laugh.
yeah, I could go in on that on so many old shows that people would not find funny anymore.
Okay, so here's one, and this is so funny. I was just about to bring this up because, my wife's a zombie fan, and so we're in some of the zombie things. And actually, Aztecas here says the 28 years later, right? The third installment of the 28 days later was the first one. Then
Oh, I
28
forgot
weeks
about
later,
that.
and now they got 28 years later. He said was great, or Aztec Aguilar. Sorry, I said he, not sure, but Azteca said it was great. Didn't expect it to be as emotional as it was. So there's something to look into. The Wayans brothers have the scary movie. They're making a new scary movie apparently is coming
I
out,
have a
as Tekka
movie.
says. So
Yeah.
that'll be
Gosh.
that might be something that we were just
That's a
talking about laughing.
That's a
That'll
pretty
be a
long
good one.
gap from the last one, I feel like.
No joke. And the Wayans brothers have the right to it, so they're gonna put their hands on it. So that ought to be pretty funny. They did. The White Girls was hilarious, right? A lot of people
I
really like
love
that
White
classic.
Girls. Man, that kind of makes me sad. I have a couple movies I'm excited for.
Me
but, like,
too. No.
I have a series that just came out from a book I read, and it's called We Were Liars. You guys can check it out if you want. It's a psychological thriller, and I hated the book until the very end, and I was like, what the F? But the series is really good, but it's so much different than the book.
I was trying to curse into you. Yeah.
Thank you.
You brought up books, and Landry said, because we
I
don't
could
read.
talk
We,
about books
No,
all
I
day.
was trying to get on that curse sensor.
I have my so if you have things to do in July, let me show you real quick. I just got to brag about reading. I thought I was too cool to read in school, and then I remembered how much I love reading.
You do it. No,
I am not showing you the books I've read, but I have been reading every day for 98 days in a row, 83 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
No, that's
I have
83
read,
weeks.
and this year, as of January, let's see here. I have read 19 books this year. I read 64 last year.
What are you into reading? If I may ask on air.
This is new information.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a.
I like romance books, and that's the easiest I'm gonna put it.
Okay, I won't suggest.
Well, go ahead, because We Were Liars was not what I expected to be, but I really love it. Psychological thriller.
So my favorite book, I like a little bit of the deeper, twistier stuff. Like I can read some Stephen King, right? Obviously, the Twilight, or not the
Twilight. I read Twilight too.
The Dark Tower series. I didn't mean Twilight. Okay, I didn't read those. The movies were all right. The Dark Tower series by Stephen King is phenomenal. My favorite book of all time. And we'll wrap this entertainment segment up.
Yeah.
And Landry, you can tell us your favorite book if you got one. What do y'all got in chat? Is By the Light of the Moon by Dean Koontz. It is. I'm talking about. I read it. I've read it 3 times. It takes me through a whirlwind. It's an extremely cool story. By the Light of the Moon by Dean Koontz. One of the best books I've read. My favorite book I've ever read. Aguilar says the new FI movie is really good, and also Mortal Kombat 2 is dropping. Now that's not going to be till October, but that's a good one to look out for. Yeah,
I loved the Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah, super cool there. So there you guys have it. That's some entertainment you can keep up with. Read you some good books. Sam told you she likes to hit the novels hard and read she says she likes really informative books that deal with a lot of science and
do not
anatomy.
Hey, whoever's
Gonna move along.
look here, whoever's got updates, right? My only, I don't have tons of updates here, and I'm fixing to do the 2 minute. I'm just continuing to work hard on a new program here. I feel like the update is that my camera got dusty in the last 2 seconds.
Something. How you breathe? You laughed on it. Samantha's got an update. Go ahead, Samantha. What's the update?
That's what I was
The
waiting
Cowboys would be
on.
the fourth best run game in the NFL. Fourth best run team in the NFL. You got it. Back it up just a little bit.
Nope.
Everybody read it very legibly. It was written
Is it-
down weeks ago. You heard it here first on the show.
I think
Samantha's
this is
got
the
it on
fourth show
paper
in a
for
row.
me.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I see. These are all my notes, all my news, all my notes. I keep it in a drawer. Like it's.
So by week 15 of the NFL season, guys, Samantha will be barely out from under paper on camera. Should be like buried under paper by week.
Oh
15.
yeah,
So
I still got tons in here. It's coming.
stick around. Landry is going to give us this 2-minute spiel, and then we're going to let you guys get out of here. Again, we can't thank you enough. Before Landry does this, hit that like, hit that sub. Kyle, Azteca, Bugsy, all you guys hanging out with us. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed and get those noties turned on. Landry's going to, just in case you missed anything, give you the spiel, guys.
All right, let's see what we can do on putting me on a 2-minute spill. Yes. So
Your time's
today's
ticking.
yeah, oh yeah, I got plenty of time. We cruised through today's show. It was a real laid back. We're in the dog days of summer, so we had we continued our depth chart series after kicking off the game plan and everything, showing you the kickoff, and Sam delivering all the news for the week. We continued our depth chart series with the linebackers this week, and but a pretty good general consensus that some mixture of Kenneth Murray and Damone Clark and Maurice Liufau, we had them in some different rankings, are going to man the major snaps in the linebacker core, along with the other guys that we have, Shamar James and just Sanborn in rotation. After that, we talked a little bit about going off to Oxnard. We got to hold off on it a little bit. We said we show the calendar. It's just a matter of 28 days or so before we have what to me is pretty much official football to talk about. You start to get new videos, coming out, and a little more, put pads on. You haven't really seen any of that yet. Otherwise, debated a little bit on whether it could be the final year in Oxnard and whether the Cowboys may move it back to Texas, which we all had our fingers crossed and would absolutely love, but I feel like is a little bit dead in the water. But we can hope. Blew the whistle for halftime. Ask you to like and subscribe as always, and please do that now if you haven't. Let's see. After that, we had a really interesting piece by Jimmy with the Lombardi legacy. A really cool about a little 2-minute mini doc video put together there for us that just told us all about why they named the trophy after him is the real gist of it. So definitely take a look at that. And talked a little bit of summer entertainment, what you can do in these last few weeks before it is football season. Some sports entertainment like the Little League World Series and Jake Paul, and some big premieres like Squid Games, I think tomorrow, and Happy Gilmore 2 in a couple weeks, and had some chat information about what you can also watch. Updates in the 2-minute spill. I'm 5 seconds over.
Okay, but you got like a 12-second late start, so it counts.
And you pretty much got there. It worked in 2 minutes. Landry gave you the spiel, so that was good. The linebacker group. I'm excited to go back and look at that and think about it real hard because man, that group is going to be so important to our success this season.
Oh yeah.
Azteca, Kyle Robinson said since Adam Sandler did his Netflix deal, hasn't enjoyed his movies as much. Hopefully he can redeem himself with Happy Gilmore. Kyle Azteca said, should we sign another veteran corner or defensive tackle? We'll let the GMs handle that, but I think we should sign whoever can help this football team. But you got to remember, we have 90-something guys right on this roster right now, and so we got to make sure we're taking the time to evaluate the talent we do have. Once you get it down to 60, 70 guys later in camp, you might start looking around, seeing what's available. Also, Azteca said, first time watcher. Round of applause for us.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you so much for being here.
Yay, Azteca, thank
I
you.
hope you hit that like and subscribe button. I really, really hope you did. They'll be out at Oxnard Training Camp, they said, Saturday, August 2nd. Awesome. Post some videos, post some stuff. Follow us on Twitter.
Excellent.
Tag us in your Oxnard camp videos and camp, and we'll talk about it. We'll bring them up. We might even show them. If you get some good footage, give it, hit us up on Twitter, and we'll show your stuff on the show out there at Training Camp in Oxnard, because unfortunately, we won't be out there. We won't be until they come back to Frisco. So, again, Azteca, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining the show today. Thank you for being with us. Remember, this is where you come to get your fan on. It's the star we are. That's Slam and Sammy. I'm Jimmy J's hair. That's Landry's Legend. You know who we are now that you've got the info. I dare to not see you not back here Thursday at 6 p.m. next week. And so before I give you the chance to leave today and come back next week, Samantha's going to tell you what the heck you need to do.
Be smart. Live every day like it's the best day of your life, and always, always, always fan responsibly.
That's right. Later, guys.
I'm a fan of the star we are.
What's up, everybody? I'm Super Cowboy.
And I'm Princess Angie, and you are tuned in to the Star We Are.
Hi, this is Jane Slater, and you are listening to The Star We Are.
Plugged in and switched on. This is the Star We Are live.